everyone. My name is Chloe, and welcome to April's In and Out. So this is something I do every single month, and I am going to tell you the books that I'm unhauling and the ones that I'm hauling. So March and February, both, I think I unhauled significantly more than I hauled. That's not the case this time. The quarantine blues got the best of me, and Book Outlet had 15% off for most of the month, I think. And so I placed a couple orders there and a couple from thrift books, and so I'm in trouble. So my TBR takedown is kind of getting shot in the foot right now. So first I'm going to start by telling you my unhaul pile. So the first one is Love Letters to the Dead, and this is by Ava Delaria. And this one I just read, and it's okay. It's about a girl, it's a YA about a teenage girl who is given the assignment to write a letter to someone who has died. And so she starts writing letters to people who have passed, and it becomes almost a diary for her. And her sister died young and just recently, and so she's dealing with that, and her letters are kind of her therapy. So this was just okay for me. Not going to reread it. I think somebody else might enjoy it more. Then, How to Be a Good Wife by Emma Chapman. This one is a really interesting book with a very unreliable narrator. You don't know if she is going crazy or if things are happening to her, but she thinks she's starting to see a woman, and she thinks her husband is like drugging her, and so we don't know what's true. And so this one, again, was interesting. The writing style was very like staccato and cold, and it never really gripped me. Next is Peachtree Road by Anne Rivers Sidens, and this one was in my Keeper Unhaul video, and I just don't think I can ever get to it. It's like 800 pages, and I know Nicole from the Girly Girl Bookworm said she unhauled it for the same reason. The premise does not sound interesting enough to read 800 or 900 pages. It's about a Southern family, and I'm not really sure. I think it's historical. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I just continually pass it up because it's 800 pages of pretty dense text, and I just don't think I will ever get to it. Last is the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. I read this one recently, and it was, for me, just okay. It's about a woman who is an author, and she is writing letters back and forth to her publisher, as well as this book club called the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. It is during World War II time, and so these people have to kind of be secretive, and it's just her conversations with all of the different people and her relationship to this Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. It's written all in letters, and so it's an interesting format in that way. And I've heard the movie is great, but I haven't watched it yet. So this one I know other people will enjoy more than I did, so I'm going to pass it on. So that is 4 books unhauled, and now I'm going to start my haul. So it's big. I'm going to separate it into 2 categories. One is books that I have read and wanted for my shelves, and I found super cheap, so I went ahead and bought them. And then the rest are unread. So these that I have read, I know a fair amount about, so I will tell you about them. Soul Sisters, Stories of Women in Running by Jennifer Lynn and Susan Warner. This is just a cute little, or not cute, but a little tiny book about a bunch of different women and their stories with running. I have loved running for as long as I can remember, and I just love, I love reading women's empowerment stories, and I love reading stories about running. And so this is a nonfiction, one I've read and loved and just wanted for my shelves. The next is Always Dakota by Debbie McComber. You're probably sick of me talking about this series because I just read it recently. I have the first 2, and this is the 3rd, and I did not have it, so I went ahead and bought this one for my shelves. One Pink Line by Dinah Silver, and this one is a story told from dual perspectives. One about a girl in college who gets accidentally pregnant, and then years later her daughter and her story. So this one was a 5-star for me. I really liked it. Next is I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella, and this is one of my favorites from Sophie Kinsella. This girl loses her phone and ends up picking up another person's phone, and so it's a story. She's engaged to somebody, but she's got switched phones with this guy, so it's kind of their romance. Really cute, really funny, very good Sophie Kinsella if you're into her. This next one is Covet by Tracy Garvis Graves. If you haven't read any Tracy Garvis Graves, I would highly recommend it. She is awesome. So this woman's in a long-time marriage, and then another man kind of catches her eye, and so she is faced with the decision what to do, stay in your marriage or go elsewhere. So this one, it's been years and years and years since I've read it, but I know I love Tracy Garvis Graves, and I think I gave this one 5 stars at the time, so this one's definitely due for a reread. This one is With Love from the Inside by Angela Picel, maybe? And this one is about a woman who is in jail for killing her young infant son. And then she has an estranged daughter that's on the outside. So she, I think, is writing letters to her daughter from the outside, from the inside. And there's a lot of things that the daughter doesn't know. And the daughter gets involved. And it's just very, very, very good. So this one, all of these are due for a reread. Last is All Fall Down by Jennifer Weiner. And this one is about a woman who is married, but not so happily. She's got a 5-year-old. Life is just exhausting, and she becomes addicted to prescription pain pills. So this one is good. Very, very good. I like Jennifer Weiner quite a bit, and it's been years since I've read this, but this one was good. So those are 7 books that I have read, and I want them for my shelves. Now it's time to get on to the ones that I have not read. So these ones I will not know quite as much about probably, but that's okay. First is The Mountain Between Us by Charles Martin. This one my sister gave to me. She just read it and said it was pretty good. She gave it 4 stars. I know it's a movie. Obviously, this is the movie tie-in. And it's about 2 people who get stranded on top of a mountain and their story. I have wanted to read this for a long time, but we travel fairly frequently, and I'm a nervous flyer, and so I know there are plane crashes, and that's why they are stuck on this mountain. So I have been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because I don't want to read this around any time where I'm traveling because it'll just get to my head. But good news is we know we're not traveling for a while, so this would be a good time to read this one. Next is Between the Lies by Michelle Adams. The glare is terrible, I'm sorry. This one says she wakes up in a hospital with no memory of how she got there, no idea who the people are that call ourselves their family, no sense of who she is or was. But Chloe Daniels returns to her childhood home. She slowly starts to piece together the details of her life. That's all I'm going to read in the back. I love amnesia stories. I love stories that the main character has my name, so I got this one off Book Outlet, and it was cheap. I Heart Forever by Lindsay Kelk. This is the 7th in her I Heart series. So I have read the first couple, and I am trying to collect them all. So this one was a good price, so I went ahead and grabbed it. The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Gu. This one is about a 16-year-old named Clara Shin, and she doesn't take life too seriously, but when she pushes one joke too far, her dad sentences her to a summer working on his food truck. And so I've heard quite a bit of good things about this. Just a feel-good summer rom-com-y YA. So excited for this. How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. I love Catherine Center. I've read 2 of her books now. I just read Things You Save in a Fire, and I had read The Lost Husband. This one is about a woman who is in some sort of accident or something happens to her, and then she's kind of forced to reevaluate her life and decide if going back to life as it was is the best decision or if she would be better off walking away. So, love Catherine Center. Can't wait to read this one. Whoops. Next is 7 Days of Us by Francesca Hornack. And this one is, I think, a holiday story about a family who one of them works overseas or something, and so they're quarantined. And so they have to spend 7 days trapped together. This one might hit a little too close to home for now because right now I'm like, gosh, if I could just do 7 days, cool, I would be there. But in an endless quarantine, I don't know if I want to read this one right now, but someday I will. Love and Luck by Jenna Evans Welch. This is the sequel to Love and Gelato, which I read recently and really, really liked. This one I know is set in Ireland, and it's another just kind of YA travel story. I think it's about a girl and her brother potentially having to like work on their relationship. So I'm sure there's also a little romance in here too. I don't know. The third one comes out this year, I think, like soon. And so I really want to read this second one. Next is Save the Date by Morgan Matson. This one I know is like a wedding gone wrong. This girl is like helping her sister, I think, with her wedding, and just everything that can go wrong does. I like Morgan Matson. I think they're cute, easy reads. So they're all pretty long, but I'm excited to read this one nonetheless. Next is Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier, and Jennifer Hillier has really been going around BookTube lately, and I've never read anything by her, so I'm really excited to read this one. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I want to keep it that way because I think it's kind of a suspense, and so I have this one that I can pick up. Then there's Something About Sweetie. I know this one is about a plus-size main character who is also an athlete, and she's just kind of awesome. It's the sequel to When Dimple Met Rishi. I haven't read that one, and I don't think I probably will, but I just really like the idea of this main character, so I got this one. The Chaos of Standing Still. I think this is about one where people get trapped in an airport. I think it is also YA and maybe a lost phone situation, but they are trapped in the Denver airport and it's a romance. And I've heard really good things about this. I'm not doing any of these descriptions justice because I really don't know a whole lot about them. I just have heard of them, and so I grabbed them. Next is After Anna by Lisa Scottolini. I love Lisa Scottolini. I own most of her books. So I guess this book is about a girl named Anna. They had to give her up for some reason. It's a couple who had this child named Anna, had to give her up for some reason. And then later in life, they're reunited. And so I don't really know a whole lot about this. These are normally kind of suspense mysteries. And so I am just really, really excited to pick this one up. Next is Good Luck Charm by Helena Hunting. So this is about a couple who he, I guess, is a hockey star, and they break up, but then he wants her back because he thinks she is her good luck charm, his good luck charm, and she's not sure if she wants to go back or not. So it's that story, I guess, maybe a sports romance. I love those, so hopefully this one's good. This one, I don't know anything about it, but I do know it is a middle grade. It's The Littlest Big Book by Jennifer Weiner. I told you I really like Jennifer Weiner, and I know this is her first and only middle grade. And I think it's like she goes into an unseen world, and it's like a Bigfoot type monster that she makes friends with, maybe. I don't know. Really excited to read this and put it on my middle grade shelf. It's got middle grade type font and stuff, so it will go really, really quick whenever I decide to read it. Next is Dumpling and Puddin, and I have not read, I guess I'll put them this way so they're in the proper order. I haven't read either of these or seen the movies, and I've heard really mixed reviews, so I'm excited to check them out and form my own opinions. The next two they have stickers all over them, so that's great. But they are another Meg Cabot series. It's the Size 12 is Not Fat is the first one. It's a female, she's kind of like an investigator, but not, they're definitely more rom-com-y than like cozies. And it's Size 12 and Ready to Rock, and The Bride wore Size 12. I'm not sure which order these go in, but I have the first three. These are number 4 and 5, and so I eventually want to binge the series. I've read the first 2, I think, and I have the third on my shelves, so now I have the whole series ready to binge whenever I want to. Next is The Unexpected Everything, also by Morgan Matson. This is another huge one. This one is about a girl who is a dog walker and one summer, and then a boy she meets. I don't know. Again, these are just very easy, summery YA books, and these are so easy to fly through and just make you feel good in the summer. So I got a couple of these. Next is The Last Post by Renee Carlino. I love Renee Carlino, and this one I think is about a woman who is married or maybe just engaged, and her fiance or husband dies. And so she starts like making these Facebook posts about him, and then she meets another guy, and he kind of pulls her out of her dark slump. And so I don't know. it sounds interesting. I like Renee Carlino. You can't really lose. My lighting is going in and out because it's just all of a sudden clouded over. So I apologize that some moments are a little dark. The clouds, I'm going to try to get this through before the clouds come over too much. But next is Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. And this one is about two people who decide to be each other's emergency contacts and then their text relationship and how that develops. Next is The Blood Sister by Jane Corey. I don't think I've read My Husband's Wife, but I've heard good things. And this one is about three little girls go off to school. One ends up dead. And then I think it's like 15 years later trying to figure out what happened to that little girl. This one, The Breakdown by B.A. Paris. This is her newest, and I've heard really mixed things on this, so I'm really nervous. I like B.A. Paris. I like Behind Closed Doors. It was a very creepy, like really made me thankful for my relationship and how safe it is. And so just the way she was able to make me feel so peeved out made me a fan of B.A. Paris. And so I don't really know anything about this. I know it's a thriller. I know I've heard mixed things. I'm going to try to just stay as blind as I am and go into it. Next is Blind Kiss by Renee Carlino. This one is, I think this girl is involved in some sort of like experiment. And so she has to be blindfolded and kiss somebody. And then it's like their relationship. He's her partner, like her lab partner or something. And I don't know. I think it gets a little dark. Obviously, judging by the cover, it's a little dark. It's also blurbed by Tracy Garvis Graves. It says, Blind Kiss beautifully illustrates how destiny prevails over even the best laid plans. You will love this story. And so I think it's a thing of like, they are like soulmates, but the timing's never right. And they met through this blind kiss. I don't know. Because You're Mine by Rhea Frey. This one is about a woman who, I think she's a single mom, and she just lives for her child, and her friend convinces her to take like a girls' night and go somewhere. And so her son is on the autism spectrum, and he's got like a teacher that offers to stay with him. And the man's name is Noah. And then it says within 48 hours or something, someone is dead. So I don't know who, I don't know. This one makes me so peeved out because my daughter, like, we have no social life really. And so she like is with us all the time. And the thought of leaving her overnight to have this baby is giving me anxiety. And so I think the idea of like being gone for 24 or 48 hours and something happening to somebody, I don't know if this is one I'll read soon, but someday it sounds good. Next is The Girl He Used to Know by Tracy Garvis Graves. This one I don't know a whole lot about. I think it's a second chance romance. I know I have plans to buddy read this relatively soon with Krista from Books and Jams. And so, yes, I don't know a whole lot about it except it's Tracy Garvis Graves. I love her and I can't wait to go into this one. Last is a quartet. So 4 books in a series, just what I need, another series. And this is another one from my sister. She lives like maybe a mile from me, and she is so good at unhauling, and she's so good at like not keeping things on her shelf unless she really thinks she's going to reread them. So she read this quartet and gave it to me, and so I need to read it because I don't know why I don't just say no, because I love having them, and like I love the looks of full shelves, and I love the idea of these books, and I do really want to read them. So that's why I don't say no, because it really brings me joy to have them. It just I don't know. I'm trying to be more like her, and I'm failing. But the series is what's it called? The Bride Quartet by Nora Roberts. So again, the lighting is terrible. The glare is terrible. It's Vision in White, and then Bed of Roses, Savor the Moment, and Happy Ever After. So this is a quartet. I am very big on just starting and finishing series like these. So at some point I'm going to binge them. They all have deckled edges, and guys, I hate that. Let me know, do you like deckled edges or do you not? I really hate it. But they are also on Libby, maybe? I don't know. The ebooks are available through my library. So I might just read them through ebook and then just look at them physically if I need to. I don't know why I don't like the deckled edges. I mean, it really works with the whole theme. Like, this is very kind of a rustic looking book, but I don't know. So there is my in and out. So that was 4 out, and let's see, I'll count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37 in. So 37 in, 4 out. My TBR is growing by 33 books. Not exactly the goal, but I'm so excited for so many of these that I'm hoping to get a good chunk of these 37 read before the end of the summer. So that's my goal. Thank you for watching. If you've read any of these, let me know. If you want to buddy read any of these, I have just been loving buddy reading. So if you want to buddy read any of them, let me know, because that would make me so happy, because just in this time of isolation, I love buddy reads. So let me know if you've read them. Let me know if you want to buddy read. Let me know any of your thoughts, opinions. Did the book outlet haul get you, or outlet sale get you? I know a couple people have put on Instagram like that this 15% off, and they've already got good prices. So got the best of me. But that's it for the in and out. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.